Hey, what's up and welcome everyone. My name is Mr. Popo and we are Popo. This is the tutorial for today. Let's jump right in. Alright, so in this tutorial, I thought that what we're going to be taking a look at is how to do this ident transition thing. And this is a project that I've seen on Behance. I just forgot the name of the artist, which I'm going to credit in the description box. So please go and check her profile. She does some amazing stuff. So I was just trying to do this project just to know how she did that between some other stuff. So I didn't really give this project a lot of time, but I was just curious on how I can achieve this using only After Effects. Obviously you can achieve this in so many other ways, but I decided to only dive into After Effects. If that's your thing, welcome, and again, let's just jump into the tutorial. So right off the bat, I want to say that this is, again, because of the time issue, I can't do a step-by-step tutorial, but I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know to create this tutorial. If you're looking for a hands-on, hand-by-hand, this is not the right tutorial for you. But if you just know how After Effects works to a beginner level, then yeah, this is probably gonna be helpful to you. So this is more of a tips and tricks rather than and breakdown rather than a full tutorial step by step. Okay, that out of the way, I just want to say that obviously this project, how it is done by doing a very simple method, just like we do in every ident, which is you have a start, you have an end, like this. So you have a start, and then you have an end. And then between them you've got this 1 second maximum 1 second of how you can do the transition, and this is where you flip the switch to go to the next scene. Obviously we have our transition, which is controlled, revealed by some other mask, which we're going to go to later on. So let's get right into this one. So the first thing you're going to realize is it's not as complicated as someone might think, and for good reasons. And the first one being that this is very simple. So what I did was I created a new composition, and what I did was I created a shape layer like this, a box, perfect box. And what I did was I did a 3D so that I can activate this and go directly into a custom view. And then what I did was I duplicated this. I changed the anchor point to somewhere like this. And then what I did was I just hold shift to snip it. It just goes and snip to the right size. And then I just needed one more. So if we I just needed to create one more. So if we take this and we duplicate it, and then we put this somewhere, let's just find out, yeah, there. And then I can just rotate it. I don't need to create any other side of the cube because this is the only thing that the camera is going to look at. All right, cool. So once that was done, so as you can see here, I'm just going to show you briefly. This is what I did. See? This is what I did. And then I created a camera, and that's it. I just created a camera, 135 millimeter, because I wanted to get really close. That's why I went to 135, because I really wanted to get close view. Because anything that is small, it's a wide lens. Anything that is big, that's where you go microscopic and stuff like that. So I wanted to go for that look where I'm really close and I get this amazing view. And just so that you understand, for example, if I do 15, you can see that now I see the whole thing. If I do 35 by default, this is what I see. It's not really interesting. But once I start going up, I'm starting to get this really beautiful close look. So I went to 135. Cool. And then that's it. I didn't do anything to the camera. I just made it follow this control camera. And this is the one that I used to control camera, which is a null, and this is the one that I use to control the camera. So obviously what I did was I just animated, as you can see, the position and rotation just a bit, just to go from left to right. So that the transition, because as you can see here, the transition is just gonna move. It's just gonna move in. So I just needed that follow-up animation, as you can see. And that's what I did there. It's very strict, very straightforward. Now the next thing, now that I have all this, the next thing what I did was I just created a logo. Excuse the name here, but yeah, I just went and I created a composition where I put the logo in so that I can test each and every one of these. And what I did was I just went here. I created this like that. This was the original. This was the original comp that I did. So I just created it like that. Nothing animated. And then what I did was I did a very useful trick, which I think is useful. So I'm just gonna put this one here. Now, how do I get this? Let's just go to active camera. So how do I get this logo to actually be here? How do I get that composition to be exactly here and to be exactly at this side of the composition? So to do that, what I did was I made a 3D. Okay, cool. Now I can see it in 3D. And then I'm just gonna go and put it parented to the side that I want it to go to. And then all I have to do is make sure that the position is 0 and that the rotation is 0. And then all I need to do is alpha matte. So now I can see it on that side. Okay, that's cool because this is the original initial position. So how about the right side and the top side? So for that, it's basically the same thing. I'm just gonna duplicate. Okay, now for the top side, which is the hardest one, that may seem, I just parent it, and then I go into position, and I put 0 and 0. Now I have it on top. Now I just need the rotation, which is 0. Now I have it on top. And repeatedly, I can just do this for the left side. And now, if I go and put position 0, 0, and then rotate it, obviously, cool. Now I just have exactly the, all the side. And now I can just rotate them to fit my need. And this is exactly what I did. Cool. So that's how I made each and every one of these be there. Cool. That is done. Now, what's next? So the next thing that I did was I went and I actually did a first pass on how this is gonna look somehow at the end, somehow. So it's like this initial color correction. So what I did was I created an adjustment layer, so new adjustment layer, and I did some stuff. So the first thing I thought that you see the colors here, they're a little bit eaten up, a little bit. It's like it's so gray, it's so dull. So what I did was I played a bit with the colors. I didn't need too much red, and I didn't have a lot, so I just killed it a bit. I pushed the blue, which I wanted to see, like the bright part of the blue. I want to see them just as much as the light that is coming off the whole source. So I just balanced things out that way. And then I wanted you to really focus on this side, and in the same time, I want to give, I want to give this illusion of shape, so that you don't really understand, like, to make this more complicated. And I added this lens thing. So this lens is gonna make the left side and right side, when they're coming, a little bit trippy. You see that? You see the difference? So it makes it a little bit trippy. And of course we sharpen everything to make this, you see this? We just sharpen everything, and it just sharps everything up, and it's pretty cool. That is done. Of course, we need a little bit of a vignette. So I just went and I did a little vignette. Obviously, this vignette is having a color that is corrected towards the whole scene. Then, of course, we have my favorite blur. But this time, I didn't only use a camera lens blur, but I also used a VR chromatic aberration. So if you don't know what a VR chromatic aberration does, I'm just going to show you. So if I go here, for example, and create an adjustment layer and do a VR chromatic aberration. So what's going to happen is, I'm not going to see anything. Let's go back here. So this is what's going to happen. It's just going to give me this chromatic aberration that I can flip to only the outside instead of the inside. And then I can just, control how the blue and the red channels are shifted. And then I get this beautiful RGB split. And that's how I use that. I just use it because it's pretty fast. I don't have to duplicate the comps and do the set mat and all that stuff, set channels and all that stuff. So I think this is pretty useful if you're gonna hide the top and the bottom. So yeah, blur. I believe after this I just went and I duplicated the shapes, the initial shapes of the cube. I duplicated them. I'm just going to show you. So if we go back here, custom view, and I duplicate this, which is this side, all right? If I duplicate it, I have this side of the cube. But if I, actually there was a mistake here. They don't have a stroke. Okay. So if I take this off, now I don't have anything. Cool. But then if I add this, now I have this the shape. So just for clarity, I'm just gonna go and make this red, just so that you know what's going on. So now I have this this edge thing. Cool. But if I take this edge and use a mask, so now if I try to do anything, it's just going to be another shape. But if I try to switch into mask and do this, I'm going to get this. Nice, but still not quite, because I can see it being cut there. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go inside the mask and I'm going to feather this. And now it's just going to smooth in the whole thing. So now if we can see everything, now we have this beautiful smooth in here. So doing the same thing, I can create this bevel effect that is faked all inside of After Effects. And that's what I did here. So I just went and I created a bunch of, as you can see, I just went and I created these. There we go. See them? So I just went, I created them. And I just put them, I put them below just so that I can fill the screen so that I don't have black emptiness. Okay, so that was done. Now we needed to tackle what's inside at each and every side of the cube. So the first thing, let's start with the left side. So the left side, again, we don't need this. We have a gradient. Again, I just made it crisp. A gradient background, and then I do. Where's the? I'm just looking for the this one. Wait. Where is the logo? That is weird. I somehow cannot click the logo. Oh, there we go. This is the logo. Oh yeah, cool. And then I created the logo. That's it. Cool. And then I started doing some beauty passes. So the first thing that I tried to do is having this shine in. And once I did that, I went and I copied it to all the other sides and made a bit of time adjustments. So this one comes first, and then the right side, and of course the top side will come from another way, because that's how reflection works. No, not quite, but makes it beautiful. And then of course I created another one that is very sharp. So you get a sharp, and then you get a little bit softer one. Of course, the softer one will have chromatic aberration just to make things beautiful. And then we have this this highlight here. So I'm just going to show you what's going on. So if we go back here, so you can see that the edge, is just too straight. Like the color, I mean, it is beautiful, but it could be better. That's the whole point. It could be better. And so if I try to lock this, I'm just going to show you what's going on. And then I try to add this. You see that? It makes it way better. And this is animated, I think. Nope, it's not. It's just, that is just what it is. So you can see the shine, and these are these two here. So you can see them. Cool. And yeah, I just went and did a bit of blur to anything that is outside of the area that I want to focus in. And yeah, that's it. That was it for this part. And then of course, as I said, I duplicated the other ones and made some adjustments according to this. So this one, it's going to be moving. So we have a background again. We have the logo. So that's all that's happening. It's just moving. And of course, we have a bit of blur. You know, so you just focus on this side. So when you look at this, so it's just this side, and it's a bit blurred on that side. And then we have a bit of a chromatic aberration effect, and that goes with the shine. So this actually goes with the shine here. See that? So it just goes with it. And then of course we have a little bit of wave warp here. So I just used the ripple just to make this edge look like it's you know, it's a bit distorted towards the edge. So that's how I faked it, at least. Of course we have a little bit of dark. The reason I darked this is because you can see the difference. So what it gives a little bit of depth. You know, and again, it's just like this. You can see that the sides are of different shades of light, because that's how a cube would behave in terms of how light is reflected in different sides of the cube. Some are going to be super shiny, and then they're going to absorb most of the light that needs to go to the other side, because hey, if one side is in front of the light, the other side of course is not going to be in front, because it's the other side, unless it's fully but that doesn't exist in this universe. But yeah, and then that's it for this one. For the other one, the only thing I did was I just rotated this to be this side, you know, and I gave it this light thing here. So same thing, and I just gave it this light thing there so that we can see it here. So I'm just gonna lock this. I'm gonna show you, but I forgot what it is. I think it's this one. Yep. So if we go back without it, you see the difference. So that's what's going on. That was done. What I started doing was I put everything together here. And what I did was I created a shape layer. I'm just going to show you what it is. So I created a shape layer that would come in like this, and then it would go. This is the same shape layer. And of course it has a bit of a blur, and the blur is horizontal and vertical, so it doesn't really matter. So I just wanted to have the look of a swoosh, but not really a mask. You see that? and then it goes. Cool, so the transition is actually alpha matte into it. So now I will only be able to see this transition, you see here, when the masks, the shape is on top. You see the shape? That's where I see this. That's how you get this kind of beautiful effect there. Cool. And then what I did was I needed things to go out. So I wanted to feel like it's a wave of, it's like a swoosh, a beautiful swoosh that's gonna take everything out. And to do that, I went and I created this magnifier effect. So what's going on here? I'm just gonna hide this one. So I'm just gonna go quarter just so that you can see what's happening. What's happening, this is happening, but you still don't get it, probably. So this is an adjustment layer with some effect that is just growing. I'm animating the mask toward the end. Okay, and the mask has magnify effect. So magnify basically is just like a loop effect. If we go here and I try to do, let's just do an adjustment layer and let's just do a magnify. So if I try to do a magnify here, let's just go to active camera. Okay, so here is the magnify effect. Now all I need to do is make this a bit bigger to fill the whole thing. And so basically, if I take this and mask it, now I can play with, you know, the area of effect of that adjustment layer. And of course, if I feather it, it's gonna feather it. Cool. And yeah, then I added some other effect to it. And so now if we go back and try to look at this magnifier, you will see that without a lens, we have this, but with the lens, we're gonna have this beautiful swoosh effect that's gonna happen. And of course, we can just chromatic aberration everything just so that it's 1,000 times better. Cool. And I just copied this and did it for all the others. And now if we go back into the transition, into here, let me just show you. For the transition, I'm just gonna go to quarter. So what we have, you'll see that swoosh going on. You see that? It just swooshes. That's perfect. Now, what I did was I added another shape layer to just enhance this swoosh. So the shape layer goes like this. It's a shape layer. It's just what it is. And then I did a Gaussian blur on everything. By everything, I mean horizontal and vertical. And then I added fractal noise. And then I went and I did a fast box blur. But the fast box blur is only on the horizontal side, so only on this side to make it look like a ghost swoosh. And then I did a chromatic aberration. But I don't care because you're not going to be able to see these sides. Cool. So now that it is screened, it's actually going to enhance that magnify effect. Could have made that even slower to make it even better, but it's cool. So all of the others, they all have exactly the same thing, as you can see here. The only thing that I added here is I added this a legacy video that you can see here. So it just it gives this very eerie effect. And I just wanted to have this reflection on top of this. So now you can see it here. Cool. That is done. I did exactly the same thing for this one. And yeah. let's go out. So we have the intro. It transitions to this, and then it leaves. But I felt like this is too empty. So what I did was I brought in that swoosh thing. So that swoosh that I did for the other composition, I brought it in to hide a bit the emptiness of masking out. Cool. And then what I went and I added another, that legacy thing that I told you I used on the reflection. I went and I put it on top of this. So now I want you to focus with me. So what's going on here? This movie is playing normally, but it is taking in consideration a lot of things. One, this is using a set mat to only show itself in the transition. So why didn't you just put this on top and just do a masking? Well, because I can't use this, because this one needs this to be masked. Do you get it? This one is using this shape layer to be alpha matte. Now, if I want to do the same, I need to take this and this, pre-compose, then use it. And then if I want to change something, then I'll have to change it here and then do it again in that pre-comp and then rinse and repeat. And I think that's not a right way to do this, because I have an effect called set mat, and this set mat will just tell me, hey, use all the effects and masks for this. So whatever happens to this one is just going to use it. Cool? And then I can use the same thing to actually mask whatever part that I want. Cool? Now, what I did was I thought that this was too sharp, so I just went and blurred it, and then I did a little bit of a color correction just to not have this brightness all over. Because if I don't do this, watch. You see how bright that is? See the difference? Color correction. So yeah, that was the project. That was exactly everything that I did for this project. I hope you enjoyed it. It was pretty fun to do it just for a few minutes to recreate this. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to grab the file from the Patreon link, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And thanks to all my Patreons, it really means a lot. And it's because of the Patreons that I keep actually continuing trying to find some time to do these tutorials, because I just feel grateful to have such a supporting community. So thank you all again. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.